Her mom pushed open the bedroom door a little too hard, unknowingly knocking a hidden journal from beneath the bed. Curious, she reached down and pulled it out, only to discover a sketchbook filled with private drawings that revealed her daughter's secret admiration for a teenage boy from the neighborhood. Rather than treating the discovery with care or understanding, she reacted in the worst possible way. After learning that the boy worked at a nearby corner shop, she immediately took her daughter there. In front of classmates, customers, and complete strangers, she loudly warned the young cashier to stay away while holding up the personal sketches for everyone to see. Maya felt like the ground had disappeared beneath her feet, as the people around her laughed without mercy. Every stare and every whisper deepened her embarrassment. Her mother truly believed she was protecting her, leaving Maya with no option except to hide her pain behind an awkward smile. Back at home, she became overwhelmed with shame, convincing herself that her innocent artwork and feelings were something to be ashamed of. She had spent her entire life trying to be the perfect daughter, always following every rule and never disappointing anyone. But emotions buried deep inside can never stay hidden forever. Unknown to most people, Maya's family carried an unusual secret that had been passed down through generations. Whenever powerful emotions became impossible to contain, an ancient force within them awakened. The next morning her mother called her downstairs for breakfast. As Maya stepped out of the bathroom, she froze in horror. Reflected in the mirror was not the girl she knew, but a huge furry creature. Her body had transformed completely. Terrified by her enormous size, she screamed in panic while staring at the soft crimson fur covering her body. Hearing the commotion, her mother assumed she was simply dealing with her first menstrual cycle. Standing outside the bathroom, she tried to comfort her through the closed door while offering sanitary supplies. Completely overwhelmed, Maya rushed back into her bedroom, desperately hoping that after a night's sleep everything would somehow return to normal. Thankfully, after calming herself and taking several slow, steady breaths, the strange transformation faded away, returning her to her normal appearance. Before long, she realized the truth. Every intense burst of emotion caused her to instantly become a giant red panda. Determined to keep anyone from discovering her secret, she forced herself to remain emotionally balanced at all times. She hid her excitement whenever she spent time with her closest friends, and stayed perfectly composed even when one of the top students in class mocked her appearance. Everything seemed under control until one of her classmates pointed toward the classroom window, where a very familiar figure stood outside. Concerned that Maya was struggling with what she believed were normal physical changes, her mother had come all the way to school carrying a large box of feminine hygiene products for everyone to see. The humiliation was too much for Maya to handle. Every ounce of emotional control disappeared in an instant. She rushed toward the restroom, but several students watched as she climbed through the bathroom window and scrambled onto the roof to escape. Unable to accept what she had become, all she wanted was to disappear and hide inside her own room. Her mother chased after her, never realizing that true control did not come from suppressing emotions but from accepting who you truly are. Locked away inside her bedroom, Maya could only see herself as a terrifying monster. Then her father quietly entered and gently explained that she was not alone. Every woman in their family eventually experienced the same transformation. They had always known this day would come. Soon afterward, her mother gathered the family inside their ancestral temple. Sliding aside an old decorative screen, she removed a weathered chest that contained an ancient scroll. The scroll told the story of their ancestor, Lianhua. Long ago, during a time filled with conflict and destruction, Lianhua desperately wanted the strength to defend her loved ones. Beneath a glowing crimson moon, she formed a sacred bond that allowed her deepest emotions to take the shape of a mighty red panda spirit. With that incredible power, she protected her family from danger. From that moment onward, every daughter born into their bloodline inherited the same spiritual gift. Although Maya believed the power was nothing more than a curse and nearly lost control inside the family shrine, her mother assured her there was a way to remove it forever. Having once possessed the same spirit herself, she explained that an ancient ceremony could permanently seal the panda into a magical charm during the next red moon. Since the upcoming lunar eclipse was only 25 days away, the entire family began preparing for the ritual. When the ceremony finally began, Maya slipped into a dreamlike trance and found herself standing inside an enchanted bamboo forest. Reaching through a glowing mirror, the red panda slowly started separating from her body, while the ritual master lifted the sacred vessel. But as Maya looked into the panda's gentle eyes, memories flooded back. She remembered using her panda form to earn enough money for tickets to see her favorite boy band. She remembered the happiness it brought to her friends during a birthday celebration and the freedom she had discovered while embracing that side of herself. The panda had given her confidence, unforgettable memories, and stronger friendships. At that moment, she realized she no longer wanted to spend her life living only according to her mother's expectations. Just before the ritual was completed, Maya stepped out of the sacred circle and chose to keep the spirit instead. Ignoring the desperate calls from her relatives, Maya ran into the night. During the confusion, her mother's own sealing pendant slipped from her hands and shattered. Heartbroken and furious over her daughter's decision, the powerful emotions she had buried for years finally escaped. Her own giant red panda emerged once again. Meanwhile, Maya hurried toward the concert venue where her friends were waiting. After sincerely apologizing for everything that had happened, they forgave one another and happily enjoyed the performance, completely unaware of the danger approaching outside. Without warning, an enormous red panda, towering nearly 100 feet tall, crashed through the stadium roof with a deafening roar. Consumed by anger, the gigantic creature surged through the crowd for her daughter. Realizing the lives of everyone inside were in danger, Maya's aunts broke the magical charms that had sealed away their own panda spirits. Instantly transforming, they joined forces to protect the audience and stop their gigantic sister. As the arena shook under the destruction, 4 powerful red pandas leaped into action, working together to restrain the enormous beast. Maya deliberately drew her mother's attention away from the frightened crowd, boldly shouting about the dreams she had hidden for so long, her love for music, and the life she truly wanted to live. Instead of calming her mother, every word only fueled her anger even more. Their struggle became far more than a fight between giant pandas. It represented the clash between a daughter searching for her own identity and a parent unwilling to release control. Together, the family guided the enormous panda into the center of a massive mystical circle. On stage, Maya's friends sang along with the boy band, strengthening the magic through music while the rest of the family recited the ancient ritual. The combined force of love, music, and ancestral power created a brilliant beam of light that carried everyone back into the peaceful bamboo spirit world. Within the silent forest, Maya found her mother curled up alone in the form of a frightened little girl, quietly crying. She also noticed the old scar on her grandmother's face, a reminder of the day her mother had once lost control years before. Through tears, her mother admitted how exhausting it had been trying to be flawless every single day, constantly believing she would never satisfy her own mother's expectations. Understanding her pain, Maya gently took her mother's hand and walked beside her toward their ancestors. Witnessing the suffering her daughter had carried for so many years, the grandmother finally embraced her, releasing the impossible standards that had separated them for so long and allowing their family to begin healing. One after another, each member of the family stepped through the glowing mirror, sealing away their panda spirits once again. In the end, only Maya remained to make her decision. With her mother's heartfelt blessing, she proudly chose to keep her red panda forever, earning the quiet approval of the ancestors watching over her. Real growth does not come from destroying the wild and passionate parts of ourselves. It comes from accepting them and learning to live in harmony with who we truly are. We are not meant to spend our lives chasing someone else's expectations or hiding our real selves out of fear. When we embrace every part of who we are and surround ourselves with people who accept us wholeheartedly, we finally discover our true strength.